faces from Yellow and Flash, like that is just going to be around forever. Oh my god.
That's pretty funny.
Well, he really did think that's funny because like it doesn't even matter that he lost all his SCVs. He had a set of units that literally stats couldn't. There was nothing stats could do. He was just sitting there and he's looking. He's like, oh yeah, no, that's like 5 Widow Mines. Like
yeah, the
my units
between
can't
the
do
units
that.
all covering each other and everything. There was really not much he could do. I believe we're going to be going into game number 3 as soon as possible here, since we are already a little bit behind schedule, and that's actually starting up right now. So guys, get ready now for the final game between these two. At least for now, it's going to be stats
Mischievous
versus
cat face.
That was exactly what that was. If you were to Google mischievous cat face, no doubt, if not now, soon, that will be the Google image thing that comes up.
I wish we had audio because I know he was breathing out of his nose heavily there. Okay.
All right, game number 3 is ready. Let's go into it right now. In the bottom left, here tied up 1-1. In the red, it is stats. And in the upper right, in the blue, our Terran player, INnoVation.
The mischievous cat.
The mischievous cat-faced Terran.
Is your cat very mischievous?
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
But not as mischievous as INnoVation.
No, certainly not.
My cat's macro, not as good either.
No, not quite.
Yeah. Not the attention span for a long game.
It's a lot cuter though when she gets stuck in a bag, right?
That's certainly true. Yeah.
When INnoVation gets stuck in a bag, it's actually sad.
He just goes like this. He goes, "Help me! Get me out of this bag!" So definitely a difference.
That's not nearly as cute.
Yeah. Okay.
Tasis, this is so good to have you back.
I'm glad to be back here with you, Artosis.
Yeah.
This is fun. And by the way, guys, if you're just now tuning in, we got 5 days of this.
5 days of StarCraft 2.
Time to call in work. Tell them you're not coming back. You got to watch all 5 of this. And then actually, after these 5 days, we got 2 days of ASL.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Just
oh, man,
nonstop StarCraft.
Yeah.
Everywhere, all the time. This is going to be a great year for StarCraft as well. Starting off the year with a bang with this IEM. Like this is such a stacked lineup. I love that. ESL has decided to bring this tournament to Korea and give, because last year we didn't really have events like this for the Korean players, and to start the year with it, I don't know, I like that a lot.
We're not normally broadcasting this time of the year either. This is funny.
Yeah, December is normally a dead month for us.
This is normally
the
off season in Korea, and normally I'm just on the phone with Artosis being like, I don't know what to buy my Secret Santa, but you know, this is a nice change of pace here.
Nick, I'm your only friend. I'm the Secret Santa. Like you shouldn't be telling me this.
Then I'm like, I was pretending it's me, Wolf, and I hang up the phone. All right, guys, we have the Reaper coming up now. Reaper headed now into the Protoss' base. A lot of repetition here as far as the openers go.
Yeah.
I think, when you have best of 3s like this in a group phase, better safe than sorry, right?
This is exactly what you want to do. Try to get a scout off. I love that pylon placement. That allows the mothership to completely block off the Reaper from coming in. And might go ahead and use this Adept as a scout, maybe push the Reaper back and then do that. But anyways, it looks like the same type of builds as game number 1 out of both the players.
Reaper just poking in here. So far, solid defense. Let's see, how the latter part of this game ends up. I think a lot of the mistakes that Stats made in the last game did happen early on. It seems like he was overconfident a little bit, sending that Oracle in, for instance. That was a little bit odd. He got moved out of position. A lot of times, if Protoss can't spot when the Terran's coming out ahead of time, Terran is by far the scariest race if they can get control of a position with some of their key units like Widow Mines and Liberators. And it's always been like this for Terran. A lot of times you want to hit Terran when they're not quite ready.
Yeah, and you're very right about this. Like, losing the Oracle is a big part of why you lost that game. Like, if you had the Oracle, there is no doubt he sees that army the second it's moved out. He's tagging everything. He's consistently kind of flying around seeing exactly what the army is. And, for instance, with the army that Stats had, if he meets him in the middle of the map and makes him unburrow a bunch of times and stuff like that, he can whittle down units and possibly have a hold against that type of army. But when it's on his doorstep, when it's right outside of his third, it's like, oh, okay, well, he's too close. He's already sieged. You're done.
Yeah, and that's why that Oracle early on was actually pretty important. You need to tag that and spot where it's going, or you're going to have a bad time. So the Reaper can move through here. There's no tight wall back there. The Protoss is basically continue to rotate around, hopefully diverting the attention on the screen here for Stats. But Stats does pay good attention, does pull those away and actually takes out one Widow Mine. So
yeah, 0 probes lost.
Yeah,
Very well done.
Net loss there for INnoVation.
Very well done, this defense from Stats so far in this game. Look at that. No units lost for Stats. A perfect game so far.
He's so good.
How does he do it?
He's making a War Prism now. I think we'll probably see that Adept poke come out here in a little bit. We've seen this. It's not even really a new concept, but just for clarity, setting the Adepts out, as long as you're not losing the Warp Prism, even if you shave off Marines, it's good.
Yeah,
That's
anything
just
you do.
Marines later on, so it's sort of a why not approach.
Even just the threat of having a Warp Prism is powerful, you know? It's like...
beat me to that. Just having that, they can't be compelled to leave their base.
Well, Stats with basically exactly the same build going into Colossus tech very quickly. He'll probably be taking his third in just a moment here. Whereas INnoVation continuing to try to harass some. I don't believe he made... Okay, he actually made 2 siege tanks this game as well. So basically the exact same thing. So we're going to have to compare how the first push goes for INnoVation, because it went all right. Remember, you got the Colossus and you got the Immortal in game number 1. And then, of course, the mid game.
Looks like the War Prism's going to be zoned out a little bit here. He can hide that in the top center corner. There's no way to really take that out unless you get a Viking or something to poke over there. Peeking in here, definitely not going to be worthwhile. Meanwhile, Colossi being made and the third base here for Terran. We're still waiting on that third base for Protoss, rather. We're still waiting on the third base here from Terran to be taken.
Yeah, and that'll be something he does probably as he's moving out here. And in fact, he should be moving out very, very soon. He's getting that kind of crucial set of units, and Combat Shield, Stim, and +1 attack all finishing up here as well. And here we go. This is the same attack we saw there on Echo, and Stats sees the second that it moves out.
So this game at least shouldn't look like game number 2.
Yeah.
Because Protoss is pretty aware.
Well, he kept his Oracle alive this game.
That's Terran's going to go ahead and move up, it looks like, to the top center. Protoss is going to have to decide, does he want to engage this in the middle or does he want to fight this from the third base? I'd say a middle engage a little bit better. There's more open space to get a good arc. Well, and if he can actually get these tanks, they are hugging the back.
That would be huge if he can kill those off. And in fact, Blink's forward really chasing this down, and INnoVation going to pick up. He's sacrificing a bunch of these units. So do you chase the units down, or do you go and try to stop the drop? The drop going to hit this third base immediately.
But I think there should be enough of Stats' army coming over here as long as he gets the armies in the right positions. Warp it in here from the bottom. Will he get those stalkers by the medevacs? Looks like medevacs are picking up. Meanwhile, oh my god, he actually didn't get one of those tanks. There's one tank, I believe, still up there. Meanwhile, another drop over here in the main for Stats.
He is hitting everywhere at once at the moment. He even has a couple Widow Mines burrow here. So that's going to make an even better defense. Across is going to try to help clean this up, and INnoVation is all over the place.
Okay, now trying to target down this Colossus. It looks like eventually Stats was able to divert that attack, but INnoVation still juggling on so many different fronts here. Oh my god, unpower that before Thermal Lance is finished. That is huge.
He doesn't get to kill it or anything, loses a medevac, does slow down that Thermal Lance, of course, but you know what? INnoVation just kind of all over the place.
Yeah, he's definitely getting in there. He does have the probe count from 45 right now to 52. So INnoVation in decent shape there. INnoVation now taking his third base, but it looks like he may want to put on a little bit more pressure. He does still have about 4 medevacs. You got to be careful when you're doing these drops, because even if you're doing a lot of damage, if you're losing too many of the medevacs, even if you're doing the damage, you don't have the healing power. You don't have that sustainability with your army.
And not just that, if you have to remake medevacs, you can't make Liberators or Vikings.
Exactly.
Both of which are very important in the matchup as well now.
It's the same problem that, for instance, Protoss have with the Robo, is that these are the structures that you have less of that also produce really impactful units. So got to be careful about that. So there were some medevacs lost back there. It's going to be up to Stats now to figure out where he needs to defend and how to split his army up properly so he can actually hold that.
Yeah, and that's pretty tough, to be honest. Like, these drops can do a lot of damage. He scans and sees there's plenty there to stop him, but he's got another group going up towards the natural here. And it looks like Stats has done a good job splitting his army for the time being.
INnoVation, though, being very cautious, he does come in, scan, and then assess it and says, not yet. Goes ahead and backs up, at least for a little bit here. And is going to continue to power up for the rest of this game. We don't see a fourth base yet here For stats, I would say the fourth base might be a little bit more difficult for him to hold. He's either going to take the top left or the center here, both of which are very pokeable for the Terran, whether it's by drop or by push.
Yeah, and in fact, we see Stats actually was just kind of reinforcing his main base, throwing a lot of pylons on the edge to really punish any drops to try to come in, so he can get his entire army together to stop strong INnoVation pushes that he knows is coming.
Okay, we see INnoVation gathered up here in the center. Stats is finally comfortable flexing his muscle on the middle of the map, and seeing that there haven't been any drops coming at him just yet. But as I say that, there is now 4 Widow Mines here, and I don't know if Stats is going to be in a position, since he is taking his 4th now, to defend this. There are 3 Stalkers here, but there should be enough time to unload these Widow Mines.
Wow, and he actually sees this coming and does a great job, blinks away actually, and chases this down. That's very good map awareness from Stats. I think the scan of INnoVation played into him figuring out that that was coming, but it was a smart try by INnoVation. It just didn't work out.
Yeah, those Widow Mines are still over there, and you can see INnoVation scanning there initially the Protoss' base to try to see if he can't poke in. It's a little bit tricky right now for Stats to try to take these Widow Mines out back here, because he is afraid of miscalculating how much he can hold there in the center. And that means this is really smart by INnoVation. He's going to drop in the main, because he says Stats is so concerned about holding that center base, he shouldn't have anything prepared over here.
Oh man, he needed to get those off a little bit quicker than he did. Still, they're going to do a pretty good job. The Vikings coming over, catching the Colossus as they try to come up. And in fact, that slows the Stalkers, because the Stalkers blink. And that means that he gets even one of the forges.
You can see INnoVation wanted to exploit that funnel-like setup over there in between the gateways. He's not able to unpower that one pylon there on the center left. Meanwhile, at a depth drop, we don't really know how much damage that did exactly. It looks like it took out at least 22 SCVs. The Nexus goes down in the center of the map. 3-base versus 3-base. INnoVation still dishing out damage.
Oh my god, he's all over the place. Still, these Widow Mines not being cleaned up. Oh my god, so many probes going down. We actually have a lot of SCVs dying as well, it looks like. Haven't really seen what's happening with that, but like this INnoVation, I feel like, is playing in such a godly mode right now.
Yeah, he's leaning pretty heavily here. God, if he got that pylon there in the left, that would just be so huge. I think that could end the game, because he can snowball it with all of his army up here. Stalkers come forward, do not take out a medevac. Meanwhile, this base is still, we still see probes being taken out over here, and I don't believe, unless he's too short on medevacs, there's any way he can hold this. Never mind, the 4 medevacs are headed northbound right now. Gonna meet up with this army. This could be the end of the game here for Stats.
Oh man, still doing a lot of damage, backing up. The Widow Mines do get one shot off at least. A blink forward from Stats. He's trying to punish this army.
Did he lose all the Vikings back there?
Yeah, he has like one landed Viking.
Okay, so he doesn't quite have enough, but I think there's still enough. Yeah, there's still enough there to run over that army. Very nicely done. That is a 2-1 victory there for INnoVation. Oh, there we go again, the mischievous cat face.
Yeah, all right. INnoVation. That was a kind of dominating victory. It was a 2-1, and Stats did show fantastic skills during this match. But I think, without a doubt, you can look at that and be like, okay, INnoVation is... It would be no surprise to anyone at this point if he wins this tournament. That was amazing play. Even Echo, I feel like he should have won.
Yeah, he's looking very solid, very scary. We're going to go to a short break. We come back, more games here at the Intel Extreme Masters Gyeonggi.
Do you want to feel like a pro gamer? Wait no more. Greatness awaits you with Intel Extreme Masters certified PCs and notebooks. When you see unique IEM certified stickers on the outside, you will find high-grade components with Intel Core i5 and Core i7 processors inside. Every purchase includes in-game content and supports the total prize purse of Intel Extreme Masters World Championship. Feel like a pro.
Everybody going through it like, whoa. what it going through